Okay, let's jump in. We've got one source today. It's a press release from Urban Value Corner Store. And it's about something really interesting happening, right where people live, in residential communities. The topic, their new smart store coolers. So, you brought this article to the table.
I did.
Our mission today is really to unpack it. What are these things? Why now? How does the tech actually work? And maybe most importantly, what's the impact? For residents, for property managers,
Right.
we're aiming to pull out the key insights, maybe some surprising details from this announcement.
And what's really interesting, I think, right off the bat is how they're addressing a very specific problem.
Okay.
I have this core belief, it's right there in the source. Convenience is an amenity.
Convenience is an amenity. I like that.
Yeah. And now they're using tech to bring that amenity to places where maybe it wasn't feasible before.
Okay, let's start there then. What are these smart store coolers? The basics. The article calls them an AI-powered self-service retail experience.
That's the gist. Think a super high-tech cooler or vending machine, but way beyond that. It's self-service retail driven by AI.
And they mention a partnership with Micromart.
Yes, specifically partnering with Micromart. Seems like it's to elevate that whole amenity experience, make it feel premium.
Gotcha. So it's not just a functional box.
Exactly. It's designed to feel like a real perk.
Yeah.
And the timing mentioned is summer 2025 for the official rollout. So this is coming up pretty soon.
Okay. So why now? What gap are they filling? The article mentions a hurdle Urban Value had, right?
It does. It's quite clear. Developers apparently wanted their full-scale Urban Value stores.
The regular corner stores?
Right. The staffed ones.
Yeah.
But the problem was population density. Sometimes the community just wasn't big enough to support a full store financially.
Ah, okay. So this is the solution.
This seems to be the direct answer. The Smart Store Cooler allows them to go into communities they previously had to say no to.
And they give numbers.
Yeah, the press release is specific. It targets communities with, get this, as few as 200 to 400 units.
Wow, 200 units. That's not a lot for needing an on-site store.
Not for a traditional store, no. So this tech lets them bring convenience without needing staff on site, dramatically lowering that barrier.
Okay, so they scaled down the requirement. How does the tech work for the user? The article lays out 3 steps. Seems simple.
It really does. From the user's perspective, that's clearly the goal. Step 1, tap to unlock. Use your card or, your phone wallet.
Standard tap to pay kind of thing.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Then step 2, grab and go. And this is the key part. The source emphasizes no barcodes, no scanning.
Okay, hold on. No scanning, so you just open it and take stuff.
Exactly. You just grab what you want. The AI and sensors inside the cooler track everything.
How does it? Magic.
Well, likely cameras, maybe weight sensors, some combination. Smart tech figures it out.
Okay. And step 3.
Auto checkout. You close the door, and boom, you're automatically charged for what you took, using the payment method you tapped initially.
Simple and sophisticated, as they say.
That's the phrase they used. Simple for you, sophisticated behind the scenes. It's all about making it feel effortless.
Frictionless is the word that comes to mind. Now, okay, other micro markets exist. What makes this one different, according to Urban Value?
This is really important, and they stress it in the release. Their exclusive access to McLane.
McLane, the distributor.
Yeah, the massive coast-to-coast distribution company. This isn't just a tech play. It's a logistics play, too.
So what does linking up with McLane do for these coolers?
It means a huge variety of products. They're not stuck with limited local inventory or someone making runs to Costco. The source says this gives them access to thousands of SKUs, unique products.
Thousands for a cooler.
Potential access to thousands.
Yeah.
It allows them to rotate stock constantly, mix national brands with local favorites. It's way more dynamic than, say, a typical office pantry setup.
That sounds like a genuine advantage. Keeping it interesting. Who manages all that, though? The product selection, the stocking?
And that's the other key point, especially for the property managers listening. Urban Value manages it all.
Fully managed.
Totally. Inventory, stocking, pricing, even promotions. The building staff doesn't touch it. No operational headaches for them.
Okay, so it's truly turnkey for the property. The release also throws out some big reliability numbers.
They do. They're aiming for 24/7, 365 uptime. Constant availability.
Which is what you want from convenience.
Absolutely. And the tech specs. 99.5% recognition accuracy, so it knows what you took almost perfectly. And 99.9% service reliability. They're banking on the tech being solid.
So very few mistakes, very little downtime. That's the promise.
That's the promise. Plus, they mentioned customization.
Right, tailoring the products.
Even with that huge potential inventory from McLane, the actual stuff in a specific cooler is supposed to be tailored
Yeah.
based on local tastes, buying trends in that community.
Making it relevant. Okay, so where do these actually go? Physically? In a
Yeah.
building?
The source lists a few places: lobbies, mailrooms, fitness centers, leasing lounges, basically common areas.
Places people already pass through.
Exactly. The idea is transforming these maybe underused spots into, like the release says, value-adding resident perks,
Mm-hmm.
making existing space work harder.
Okay, let's tie this together then. The benefits. For property managers first, what's the big win for them?
Well, the source lists it out pretty clearly. No staff needed. That's huge.
Cuts costs and complexity.
Right. No operational headaches, because Urban Value handles it. And maybe the biggest thing, no missed opportunity. They can now offer this retail amenity even if they don't have the density for a full store.
So it becomes a competitive differentiator.
Absolutely. The article calls it a competitive edge, especially for those Class A type communities trying to attract and keep residents.
Makes sense. And for the residents, what's the pitch?
It really circles back to that core idea: convenience.
Convenience as an amenity.
Exactly. The source frames it as seamless,
Yeah.
premium,
Yeah.
fast, modern. So people, kind of expect now in high-end living, immediate access without leaving the building.
Right. Okay, so we've got the AI tech, the big distribution network, the managed service model, the small footprint. Taking a step back, what does this model really tell us about where residential amenities are heading?
Well, I think the big insight here is how technology is sort of deconstructing traditional retail.
Deconstructing? How so?
You don't need the whole four walls and a cash register setup anymore, not for everything. You can break off pieces, automate them, and put them directly into people's living spaces.
Hyperlocal.
Exactly. Hyperlocal, hyper-convenient, using AI and logistics to make it work even in smaller communities. It really blurs the lines, doesn't it? Between your home, your community space, and, well, the store.
Yeah, it really does. It shows how fast our actual physical environments are adapting to these new digital and logistical tools.
It's happening quickly.
So wrapping this up then, our deep dive into this Urban Value announcement, it really shows a company using AI, using a strong distribution partner
McLane. Yeah.
to put managed convenient retail into places it just couldn't go before, into smaller residential communities. It's tech making services more modular, deployable right where you are.
It's definitely more than just a fancy vending machine. It's about embedding a sophisticated, curated retail function into daily residential life.
Yeah.
At a scale we haven't really seen before.
So here's the thought to leave you with, maybe something to chew on. As this kind of AI-driven self-service keeps expanding, moving from public spaces right into our apartment buildings or communities, how does that change your expectations? Your expectations of convenience, of service, maybe even how you think about and use the shared spaces where you live? How might all that continue to shift?